everyone, my name is Shanna and today I'm going to talk about 3 tips for getting your choir concert ready in under a week. So tip number 1 is looking at the beginning of every phrase. So you're going to look at the beginning of every phrase, and if that phrase starts on a consonant, you're going to want your choir to release that consonant at the same time. For example, if we look at Silent Night, the very opening begins on an S, which sometimes can be tricky because different students will come in like at a slightly different time, or they'll hold on to that S before releasing the vowel. So to clean that up, you're going to want to listen carefully to see if your choir is giving you a unified beginning of that phrase. This is sort of a 2-part tip because you're also going to look at the vowel. So if the word does not start with a vowel but has a consonant and then a vowel, you want to think about what that vowel is as well. So the word silent, if we're looking at Silent Night, can also be a little bit tricky because that is a diphthong when the vowel has 2 sounds. There's an ah vowel and then there's the e vowel that comes after it. So silent night, sigh. So sometimes your singers will go to that second vowel in the diphthong. You want everybody to be on that ah for as long as possible. So just even in that one phrase of Silent Night that you're beginning on, you're thinking about, is everybody starting that S and releasing into the vowel at the same time and then agreeing on the vowel that they land on? We're also looking at breathing in on the vowel you're about to sing. So again, taking the beginning of Silent Night as an example, we're breathing in on ah, saw, and we're opening up to that ah vowel after we release the S. So to clean up a piece pretty fast, you're looking at every beginning consonant or vowel of every phrase and really listening for these ideal things that you want to hear. As a side note, you also want to be kind of particular with your choir. I feel like sometimes we can get started, the kids just want to sing it, we just want to get through it, but you really do need to do a lot of stopping and starting when you're cleaning these pieces up before a concert. So that's tip number 1, the beginning of every phrase. Tip number 2, we're looking at the ends of every phrase. And so in the same way, sometimes those phrases end with a consonant. So for example, silent night. So we're ending on a T. We all want to cut off at the same time. So you want to talk about what beat that you want to cut off on and make sure that everyone is giving you a nice, crisp T on that beat. And so you can do that the whole way through the song as well, looking at all the ends of phrases and when you're going to cut off. Now, sometimes at the end of a phrase, you're sustaining a vowel. In the case of Silent Night, again, when you are singing silent night, you're holding that ah on the word night, again, another diphthong, the ah into the E. So you're sustaining on the ah. You want to make sure that your choristers are also holding their harmony in the same vowel for that amount of time. So let's say the phrase is ending on a vowel. You also want to hear that they're agreeing on the vowel sound and placement, and that they're all singing that unified vowel. That's really going to make your harmonies sparkle and, maybe give you some overtones if you're lucky. So that's tip number 2, the ends of all your phrases. All right, the last tip to get your choir concert ready in under a week is to think about dynamics. We all talk about dynamics. We encourage our singers to sort of have these different colors and highs and lows of every piece. Sometimes they're marked in the score and we're asking them to follow things. And so we're looking at all kinds of different nuances all the time. But if you're cleaning up a piece in under a week and you're thinking about dynamics, my tip is to think about your opening dynamic, your closing dynamic, and then the part in the piece that would be considered the climax. So a lot of times in a piece, there's that one phrase where it's the height of all the action. if we're thinking about Silent Night, you can look at the phrase, sleep in heavenly peace. Of course, that beautiful point in the song. And so looking at that opening dynamic, what you want to achieve there, that sort of color that you're looking for, and then also at the end, how you want to finish it, and then going into that middle part that is the climax, and maybe thinking about how you're going to lead in and how you're going to lead out, and focusing on the dynamics in those three spots. This is going to bring some polish to your piece and some structure to your performance, and be simplified enough that your choristers are going to remember the things you're asking them to do. So those are my 3 tips for getting your choir ready in under a week. It can be very stressful putting on a concert, feeling like you're not ready or that things aren't polished enough. So I hope this video helps you to kind of simplify and attack some tangible things that you can make a difference with. The last thought I will leave you with is this: don't let up until you get what you want from your choir. So if you're thinking about a particular sound, if you're focusing on an opening phrase or an ending cutoff, make sure that you are persisting until you get exactly what you're hoping for, because it always improves. It's not always perfect, but try to push them to really deliver what you're hoping for, and do a lot of modeling to help them understand what it is that you want to hear. So that's it for my choral tips this week. If you're interested in learning more, you can subscribe to my channel, Lessons with Shanna. I also just released a brand new resource, including some classic Christmas carols that I arranged in soprano, alto, and baritone voicings. There's an activity pack that you also can access, so you get PDFs of these arrangements. I made them because a lot of times I don't have a lot of tenors in my group. It's always a struggle to have a lot of tenors and strong tenors. And so with everyone singing Christmas music this season, I thought, well, this is a cool way to arrange some SAB carols that also include solfege, so helps learn quickly, so that I have the right voicing and a strong 3-part rendition. So if you're interested in any of that, I'm going to put the link in the description below, and I hope to see you next time.